All right, yeah. When I was in Denver, Colorado, they situated me over with some African American people. I think because probably they had identified like my personality type or something. Because they sectioned everybody. All the white people were together, and then all the Hispanic people were. They were situated there. They were assigned those locations with each other. And then they put me in a little cubby hole. One guy was Hispanic, but the Hispanic population started next door. And it was really only me and a couple other black dudes. And then there was a black dude across the room, one black guy across the pod on the other side. Big, swole black dude. And anyways, I think it was probably 40 or 50 or 60 people in there. And the week I ended up getting in a fight. This kid, he was a kid to me. He was 27. I was 34, so I guess he wasn't that much of a kid to me. But I was 33. Anyways, the whole pod just wanted to fight with me the whole time. Not fight, but just verbally just assaulted me, all the time, talking shit at the side of their mouth, left and right. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even know what was going on. I think it maybe had something to do with the fact that the first thing that happened to me was somebody called me out for a fight, and I later found out he was working with the Illuminati. That's a long story. It's in my book. And he eventually divulged everything to me, and we became friends. And he told me who he was and his bloodline and all this kind of stuff. But it apparently went all the way back to John Wilkes Booth. Eventually, I ended up meeting George Washington's grandson, supposedly. Well, probably was. And they both mentioned something that I had mentioned to them, a certain type of tattoo right here next to the eye. And they both said, I want one right here. Just exactly what I had told. I sent a message to G59 Records. I think with that, something about that, they had me so in a state of hypnosis, I didn't even know what was going on. I was talking all kinds of craziness. But either way, the point of the story is that so this kid, well, he was a kid to me now. He was one of them, man. Just wanted to talk shit, man. Why you doing that? Yeah, just any little thing. And I was watching television. He was the pod leader. He was the one that had all the responsibilities. Everything, all the responsibilities were delegated to him and everything like that. I don't know what he did, but it was some kind of special assignment that he was given special privileges by the guards. Not special privileges, but he was like the pod leader. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, he didn't run his fucking mouth, though, I tell you that much. And anyways, one day I was laying on my bunk, and he had the TV up real loud. It was just so fucking loud. I had to sleep right underneath it. I was fucking pissed. And I said, I said, he's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Loud as fuck. Extremely loud. And before I even knew what had come out of me, I had already said it. And then he was like, okay, well, we're going to fight now. And I was like, oh shit, I said, I don't really want to fight. You know what I mean? And he was like, no, that's the way it is. You got to fight. And I was like, all right. So I was basically like, well, all right. So I guess I'll do this. And went ahead and took my shirt off. I was scrawny as hell. I was about 140 when I came in. I don't even think I was 140. I think I was 135. And he was probably about 200. Anyways, we went, the guy's like, go on in there, get your ass whooping. So I went in there, and we came in there, and, he acted like he didn't really want to fight. He acted like, he just wanted to kind of like hug and pretend to fight. I don't know, man. There was something about that pissed me off. The fact that he was gonna make me come in there to fight him and then act like he didn't really want to fight. And so I hit him. I hit him as hard as I fucking could, right across his fucking face. And then I hit him with my right as hard as I fucking could. And then I came back with my left. I was doing a lot of meditation at the time, so I was really like on the brink of just, you know, if you do so much, you will be an angry person. I heard a story one time about a Buddhist monk. It was inside LA County Jail, and he said that somebody said he took on 30 guards. 30 guards. Because see, when you cultivate that type of righteous indignation, is way more, you know what I mean? It's not, you don't have like a normal strength, you know what I mean? You're more, you know what I mean? And I just hit him as hard as I fucking could. I hit him with the right, and then I hit him, and then I came back with the left, and I was stepping backwards like that, you know what I'm saying? Because he was at me like this. And then he just fucking tackled me. Woo! He was like, I gotta stop this quick. And when he did, I just started laughing. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, okay, now we're having fun. You know what I mean? And at that point, he grabbed me by the hair of my head and told me that if I didn't quit fighting, that he was gonna crush my head into the fucking ground until I died. And I said, yeah, I said, okay. I was trying to grow my hair out at the time, so my hair was long. But anyways, so immediately after that, the black dudes went totally nuts. They were, oh my God, I've never seen anybody go so crazy. Ah! They were screaming, and it was the biggest fucking scene. To see these black people, you know, to see these guys, I mean, you know, they were so fucking pissed. And one of them, this dude was like 300 pounds. He said, he was like 300-pound Muslim. He's like, I don't remember what he was saying. Something like, you want to get right, or you want to get, I don't remember what it was. They got their own little phrase, you know what I mean? And this other kid, he was so fucking wound up. He turned on this fucking old dude, and he was just like, he was about to beat this old man's ass. And he was literally like 65, 70, probably more. He's probably 71, 72 years old. And at that point, I had to tell him, I was like, dude, no, don't. I said, don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't beat up that old man. But that was just, for whatever reason, that was the response I got. And I think we had a lot of shared interests. You know, we talked a lot about, you know, music, and I was doing rap music. And I think there was a lot of appreciation for that kind of thing. But as far as the other guy, the guy that I got in a fight with was concerned, he was never the same after that at all. In fact, he was one of the most violent people, probably the most violent. I mean, people were calling him a bully, and it was like, God damn, what the hell, like, what's his problem? You know what I mean? He's like, and people were talking about, man, I might even beat that dude's ass. I don't know what the hell is wrong with him. But he was working out so much, because right after that, he just started working out constantly. And he got in a fight he ended up beating up a mentally handicapped person and kicking him while he was on the ground. And I told him to stop, and he did stop, actually, because I asked him to, incidentally. But yeah, he was removed from the tank. Tell you what, though, interesting story about that. He was the one who, one night, I was trying to do meditation, even every single step. And as I walked past his bunk, he stopped coughing. So I thought about it as I was in the bathroom, and when I went back to my tank, my cell. It made me think about that line from the Bible where it said, you know, people trying to touch Jesus' cloth just to be healed, and whoever touched the cloth that he wore was healed. And so I decided to see if I could make him stop coughing. You know what I mean? And incidentally, what happened was, as I came to that place, then he would stop coughing. And I don't know if this is cruel or not, but I wanted to know for sure if that's what was causing it. So I would let my mind get full of thoughts to see if he would start coughing again. And then he did. And then I would stop it, and then he would stop coughing. And in fact, I did this in the tank. I don't know if they had audio or not, but just for documentation purposes, just in case, every time I wanted to make him stop coughing, I would raise my hand. So it's possible there's documentation of this somewhere if they have audio of it. But they at least have documentation, probably, they at least have documentation of me raising my hand up and down that night, and then probably can tell that he was doing better the next day. But yeah, I was able to raise my hand. I was able to fill my mind with thoughts, raising my hand to make it stop, clear my mind and raise my hand and make him stop coughing, and then lower my hand and fill my mind with thoughts. And then he started coughing, and then I raised my hand, made him stop coughing. And I did that about 4 or 5 times, and then I finally said, okay, now I'm just going to heal him. And he was healed. And the next day he was healed. He was never sick. He had been sick like that for a month. And everybody knew it. And it was frequently spoken about. Oh. Yeah. It was frequently spoken about. Just, man, he's like he's never gonna get healthy. He's not gonna stop. He's just coughed all night, night after night after night after night, week after week. And so he was better after that. Incidentally, I may have caused it. I snapped on him one day, and he was sick the next day. You know what I mean? But anyways, I think it's just a matter of disrespect. I mean, you can only disrespect somebody so many times before they're going to snap at you. But yeah, the next day when I passed him, he said something to me, and I was almost sure of the way that he said it, that he knew, he knew what had happened the night before. Because it was very unusual for him to say anything to me. And it was something kind, and almost like this look of knowing in his eyes, something like that.